Welcome to Jump Shot Therapy, everybody. We have, I guess you call this an emergency podcast, so put the sirens going. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. We got a State of the Shield, everything that's going on in the NFL, because this has been a crazy, crazy weekend for sports. I am the boss baby. I am Dylan Barretto. I am with the Oscar the Grouch himself, Alfredo Velez.
Yeah.
I'm with young boy Hunter, who is absolutely exhausted from spending hours trying to figure out a way to record from his computer, which worked out well, but we couldn't figure out how to record Google
Skype.
Hangouts for Steven. So how are you doing, Hunter? You look exhausted.
I'm tired and still hungry. So.
He's tired and still hungry,
I have white rice.
but he doesn't want to eat any of the white rice. We're also joined again by Big Brother holding it down in Jump Shot Therapy Studio South. Steven, how are you?
Good evening, peckerheads.
All right, that's aggressive.
That's our little monsters. That's like the Lady Gaga fans' name.
Yeah, all our fans are called peckerheads.
Yeah.
I don't think that's appropriate at all.
You're too sensitive.
I was referring to you three, not the fans.
Nah, you said it as the fans, so that's what you call fans.
Technically, us three are the fans. So
Hey, no, we
Yeah.
got another fan. Shout out to Shannon Day, her lifestyle blog at shannonsday.com.
Sponsor.
She's not okay. You can say it's a sponsor. Shannon, thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Going forward,
Go like her
a lot
Facebook
of
page.
go like her Facebook page, Shannon's Day. Her name is Shannon Day, so I guess that's
I'll just leave a link in the
appropriate.
description down
Leave a
below.
link in the description for Shannon's website. She has a nice little blog that she writes, and it's actually relatively good. So congratulations
us to
on
say
your.
that.
She did not. Congratulations
she did
on
not.
your
She did
success, Shannon. I appreciate your sharing and all of that. Let's get started. Vonte Davis retired at halftime at the Buffalo Bills game yesterday. What the fuck?
He was the only one that was man enough to do it. He was the only one man enough to admit it because everybody else was quitting, so he might as well quit for realsies.
So, am I the only one who is like upset at the same time that if I was a teammate of his, I would have wanted to beat the shit out of him?
No.
No.
I wouldn't.
No.
That team's just so terrible.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's had balls.
And then
that
here's
he
the
gets
thing,
the
like
fuck out.
the corner, the Bills.
Linebacker?
No, I'm talking about the Bills
Bills as an
themselves.
organization?
They have a lot of injuries at cornerback, so they literally started him today because they had no corners.
No, he's like one of their best corners.
He's one of their best corners.
He's
Still.
their second best corner next to
Von-
Travis.
I'm
Vonte-
talking about throughout
He-
training camp.
He
most
came
of the
back.
corners
He just
got
came
injured.
back from an injury, so he was inactive last week. He came back this week, so he
And,
was
like,
actually
he
starting in
started.
the game.
Yeah.
And
No,
at
they
halftime-
said he was only starting because they had injuries.
Exactly.
They said that he was stealing money, that he basically was
Yeah.
being paid to be on the team, not really play.
Do you think it was appropriate for him to just retire at halftime instead of like saying
Hell
he
yeah, be
wasn't
like,
gonna,
yo, y'all
instead of
dudes
staying on the
trash.
sideline and just like
No,
being with the team?
What the thing was, he was celebrating about a play he made, and then he goes to the halftime and he fucking retires.
This is the first though. That's crazy.
I think that's
he
one
made
of
a
the
play.
I think it's
And he
one of
was
the
celebrating.
craziest things I've ever heard is a dude quitting at fucking
Dude,
halftime.
when y'all guys messaged me that, I'm like, huh? Like,
I
is that
saw it
real?
and I started laughing immediately. I was like, "What the fuck do you mean,
Is this real
Vonte
life?
Davis retired at halftime?" I never heard no shit like that before in my life.
I've seen people like play the game and then retire the next day.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
But
not
never
during the
in
game.
Yeah,
game.
people were saying like at least come into the office today and be like, yeah, I'm done.
On the Bills injury report, there's only one corner, so Vonte Davis would have been starting in the nickel. Or
Stat guy.
Teron Johnson, he's got a shoulder injury, but
Any
Vonte
other
Davis would have
DBs?
been starting anyway.
No, that's the only DB that's on the injury report.
I then heard wrong then.
That's
At least he would have been playing.
well, he was to getting he had a small contract and like the majority of it was guaranteed.
It was
Yeah.
like $5 million.
$5 million.
on the Bills website. He's listed as the first, or the left cornerback. So he's listed as a starter there. But there's only one corner on the injury report. But he was injured last week. That's why he didn't play.
Yeah, so let's now that that's debacle's over with, let's stick in the same game. How do you guys think Josh Allen looked?
Terrible. Not encouraging at all. He's just doing the same stuff he's done in college. He has a terrible completion percentage. He's going to be throwing a lot of picks.
Do you think it's because of the kind of player he is, or the offense that they're running?
Him.
Well, he's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
And he was a little nervous.
So after running through the tape,
I didn't like him in college.
Heads up, I just had a 3-hour drive home from fucking Pennsylvania, and I watched a lot of tape, and I went over a lot of stuff preparing for this.
You're watching and driving?
Podcast.
That's not safe.
I wasn't driving. Baby girl was driving, so I got a chance to run through a lot of tape, and so I can have these discussions, right? Josh Allen, a lot of his balls straight up sailed. He let those shits just go way over his head. He holds on to the ball too much.
Yeah.
He refuses to throw the ball away.
Mm-hmm. That's a bad habit.
Very bad thing. Yeah. Dude's got a fucking cannon for an arm.
So do you think like Brett Favre, that's where he just tosses it for no reason?
No, it's completely different. It's completely different. There's a difference between, like, Favre was a gunslinger.
Yeah.
He threw a lot of interceptions.
Brett Favre could also
a lot
complete intermediate passes.
Yes, he made the correct football play a lot.
So do you think that Josh Allen, he's just trying to throw
He also
bombs
threw a lot of
and not
picks.
short passes?
I don't think it's not trying to. I just don't think he's able to.
Going up against a good defense.
You don't think he's able to throw short passes?
I mean, he's going up a good
accurately.
defense, but he's going up against a defense that's missing Joey Bosa, and one of their
And Verrett.
one of their
receivers though.
One of their top defensive backs was lost even before the season
I
started.
think it was Verrett, right?
Yeah, they still have good corners.
Yeah, they still have a
with
good
Verrett
defense,
lost.
but it's like, let's say if you look at these intermediate routes that these receivers are running, one, can you name me a Bills wide receiver
No.
besides Kelvin Benjamin?
And
I thought
he
it's Terrell
sucks.
Owens.
And he's trash.
He's trash. He's not good.
He's absolute trash. He's literally. I'm surprised he's not playing outside linebacker.
Josh
And
Gordon?
Shady's hurt.
Shady's got what? Cracked ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a cracked
Cracked
rib
ribs.
cartilage. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at these balls that he's throwing, they were sailing, and it's not even like the deep balls were sailing because those things were sailing too. Mm-hmm. His short routes were sailing, and it's like if you can't hit the receiver in his hands, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Here's his
So
receivers.
you don't think he has like how can I say, like lasers for short?
He has a cannon. He has an absolute
No,
strong
I'm
arm.
talking about in short routes.
No,
you don't
he's
think he has a
not.
laser?
He's very inconsistent.
Okay.
And
It's not even
inaccurate.
just about having a laser. It's about getting that laser. You can have a laser, but can you point it in the correct spot?
Yeah.
Even in the preseason, they were showing plays. I mean, even he had plays where it was like a screen pass, and he was throwing it over the running back's head.
Sailing it.
That's a 3-yard pass that you should be making in the NFL. His wide receivers though are Kelvin Benjamin, Zay Jones, Andre Holmes, Robert Foster.
Great.
I only know 3 of them.
I've heard of Zay Jones.
I just know Calvin
I've heard of
Benjamin
Andre
because
Holmes,
of the Cam Newton thing.
Yeah, so it's like his receivers don't give him help, but even if he had receivers, his receivers would be very upset.
Yeah, but isn't that Calvin Johnson? Isn't he like a big boy?
Calvin
like,
Benjamin?
Calvin Benjamin. Isn't
6'5",
he,
like almost
He's
280.
Yeah, but
yeah, because
he's also,
he like gained weight this offseason, right?
he's
a
also
fat fuck.
slow as fuck.
Fat
He's
fuck,
not
slow as
fast
fuck,
receiver.
can't catch.
So like Eddie Lacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, but like,
Eddie Lacy still plays?
no.
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 He was on the Seahawks last.
Yeah, but
He
that
was on the
didn't work out
Seahawks
well.
last year. He's still trying to play, but he's not on a team currently.
Can't put down the cheeseburgers. That dude's eating them, but he
I
can't.
mean,
put down-
when you have 2.5 good seasons with the Packers, you think you're all high strung. So probably that's what it is.
Who's gonna have a worse record, the Bills or the Cardinals?
Bills.
The Bills. I'm
Cardinals
glad
at
you
least have-
mentioned that because that could be an easy segue for something else that I'm not sure if we put that on the docket. It's time to put Josh Rosen in.
You were
Is it
talking
not?
about that.
I was talking about this. I know I said this on Twitter. It's time. We can't. Larry Fitzgerald has a handful of good seasons left. David Johnson's healthy. You got a strong defense. Why is Sam Bradford having less than 100 yards when he has, 17 completions?
17 completions, 93 yards. And this motherfucker has never won more than 7 games in a season.
And he's 31.
He's 31 years old, never won more than 7 games in a season. He only throws passes that are 2 yards.
So I think it's time to advance the culture forward in Arizona, put Josh Rosen in, and see if this kid can win you games. He's got the attitude for it. He's got the arm for it. Why are we going to continue to waste Larry Fitzgerald's career?
They have Larry Fitzgerald. Bryce Butler can stretch the field.
My question is, how long is Larry going to keep going for?
Larry's in good enough shape. He can keep going over
2-3
there if he
more
wants.
years.
2-3 more years? He's like in his mid-30s, right?
Early 30s?
Bryce Butler is he resigned with the Cowboys.
No, he
He's
didn't.
not with the Cardinals.
He did
No,
not.
he didn't.
No, he didn't.
It says Bryce
He
Butler.
sounds.
Cowboys
Bryce Butler's on
signing
the Cardinals.
Bryce Butler.
Cowboys did not sign Bryce Butler. The
Really?
Cardinals signed Bryce Butler.
Oh, here we go. Time
That's
to
what
bring
it
out
says.
the segment. You're wrong.
Oh, yeah, no, he's with the Cardinals. Pregnant pause. Awkward silence as Hunter
So
looks
he's
up
still-
stats.
I know who's on my team.
Oh, the Cowboys are expected to sign Bryce Butler early next week.
Yeah, he's a free agent as of right now.
They cut him?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not on the Cardinals.
Ooh.
I just saw that.
Off
That guy
season
wasn't
or
gonna
practice
make it.
squad member only.
Ooh, all right.
Hold on.
I'm tired as fuck, but
Uh-oh,
Still get
looks
shit
like
right.
something, a Cowboys news feature just passed through Steven.
the Cowboys confirmed that they have been in
Somebody's
contact with Bryce
laptop
Butler.
just fucking open.
Okay, so even without Bryce Butler, that Cardinals receiving core is a solid receiving core. They have what? Gresham still at tight end?
I'm pulling it up.
He's
right
pulling up the rosters right now.
Seals Jones.
Seals Jones. I'm sorry. Seals Jones at
now. Chad
tight end.
Williams, Christian Kirk out of A&M,
JJ
JJ
Nelson.
Nelson.
Oh, J.J. Nelson, absolutely.
For tight end, they have Jermaine
Ricky Seals
Grisham,
Jones, Jermaine-
Gabe Holmes.
Gresham's there.
Gresham and Seals Jones. So they have a good enough offense to where Rosen can distribute the ball, hand the ball off to David Johnson, and protect him.
For some reason, they have Josh Rosen as a third string.
Nah, he's their second string. There's no way.
For some reason, Sam Bradford just keeps stealing money from these.
I'm surprised
dumb
people
teams.
want Sam Bradford.
Time out. Isn't Sam Bradford like Blake Griffin's ex-baby mama's baby daddy?
Whoa, that's a lot of words you just said.
I don't think so. If there was only a guy.
They did both go to Oklahoma.
All right, I'll look it up.
Are you?
Go ahead, keep.
We'll cut this. Are you marking times?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mark this time so we can cut the gap. But yeah, I don't know about that Oklahoma stat, but we'll move on to the next as you guys look into that. What's next, Hunter?
Josh Gordon was traded to the Patriots earlier today. For a
And
fifth
of
round
course, that's the first bit of news you want to put up
pick.
from
I do
you.
wanna- yeah, I like it.
How do you think that affects the Patriots, Hunter?
It only helps them. It's no risk. It's a 5th round pick, and then if he's not active for 10 games, they get a 7th round pick back.
Not bad for somebody who can potentially be one of the best wide receiver talents in the league, and you got nothing. You gave him for nothing.
And he's only 27.
He's 27 years old, athletic prime. As long as he's able to stay on the field, I think he'd do nothing but good for the Patriots.
Also, one Bud Light away from relapsing.
Yeah, another thing is like a lot of people are like, oh, he hasn't really played since 2013. I mean, you could also say that he still has a lot of miles left on the tire because he hasn't really done anything. But he's still got a lot of skill, obviously, as we saw in week 1. But we'll see what happens as he gets acclimated. It's not always like as like they signed like Eric Decker and Reggie Wayne a couple of years ago. It's not always like a given that they're even going to make the roster past a few weeks. So we'll see what happens.
What's his ceiling?
In terms of like yardage or
No, I'm not asking for stats, but what do you think?
I'm talking.
What do you think he's going to end up doing? How productive do you think he's going to end up being for the Patriots from this point going forward?
I think his ceiling is obviously their number one receiver. I think he can get in 14 weeks. He could probably get, or 13 weeks, 13 games. I think he could probably get over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. That's going to be his ceiling, and then his floor is obviously getting cut. So they also have him set for the next 2 years. He's a restricted free agent next year because he hasn't really got his NFL time of 48 games or something. Or no, you have to play 64 games. So he hasn't gotten that yet. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, and I was talking about Matt Leinart,
Oh,
Blake Griffin's baby mom's other baby daddy.
Matt Leinart, USC Trojan, great. Arizona Cardinal, not great. I guess Josh Gordon going to the Patriots is a perfect segue for Pat's Jags yesterday.
yeah, terrible wide receiver
So
depth.
before Hunter complains, Hunter and I got into a heated debate yesterday because I said that this Jaguars team is different. And that being the offense is different. where the defense is going to be the same, if not improve a teensy-weensy bit. The main room of growth for that Jaguars team was their offense. And what I saw with the Giants game week 1 and the Patriots game yesterday, we're recording Monday the 17th of September, by the way. I saw aggressiveness in the play calling, the confidence in Blake Bortles, and especially in the Patriots game, the lack of weapons and what Blake Bortles was doing with nothing.
I saw over the past 2 weeks, he has like a look in his eye he didn't have last season. And if this Blake Bortles plays like this, like he did against the Patriots, they're going to the Super Bowl. If he plays just like he did,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I was eager to see if they were gonna. I'm eager to see if he's gonna keep it up because it's hard to do it through a 16-week season or 17-week season, including the playoffs. So we'll see what happens, but we'll see if they stay motivated. But they were highly motivated yesterday because they lost to the Patriots in the AFC title game. They're not going to be that motivated every week.
I think they can be. If the aggression and the play calling stays the same, they're going to be very scary to deal with.
That's hard to do.
And that was without Fournette.
Exactly. That was without Fournette and any good receiver as well. Because the only receiver that's on the roster from last year that was just even on the roster was D.D. Westbrook, and he didn't play at all last year.
Keely Cole was on the roster last year, but he showed up at the end because all the receivers kept getting hurt.
Yeah. So it's like what he was able to do, how he was able to look sharp, I think going into the rest of this season, especially going into this part of their schedule, they're going to look very fucking strong, and they could easily end up like 6-0 before they lose.
And let me say one thing about the Patriots to piss off their fans. So don't be, we don't have no receivers. Tom Brady has never had receivers.
I'm talking about receiver depth.
Yeah.
We had like 3 active receivers yesterday.
He's never had receivers or receiver depth. The one time he did have receivers, they didn't win shit.
I'm just talking about bodies. Like you're throwing out the same 4 guys every play. I mean, and they ran a lot of like 2 tight end sets with like Dwayne Allen and Rob Gronkowski, but then you got like nobody to switch off. Like they threw a pass to Cordell Patterson and he fell on his ass because he's a bum. So that's what happens. That's what happened. I mean, if they had like if they had like 2 more wide receivers active for the game, they literally had 3 wide receivers active for the game. That's
my favorite thing was they cut Corey Coleman to make room for Josh Gordon, so Corey Coleman didn't even get a chance to practice with the Patriots.
Right.
Hey, you're laughing now. Watch Corey Coleman end up on the fucking Cowboys.
I don't think they were expecting to get
Corey Coleman
Josh
supposed
Gordon.
to be like a prospect? Like wasn't he? But like he had like a lot of potential.
He's a first round pick who has a shitty attitude.
Listen,
So
he can't catch.
Costing him.
He can't catch. He's got feet for hands.
I'm like, they signed him. I'm like, why'd they sign a dude that can't catch when they already have Cordell Patterson on the team? At least Cordell Patterson can return a kickoff or a punt for a touchdown.
Yeah, I thought they were going to end up keeping him. I thought maybe they could have cut someone else because if you could have, even though they're both like Corey Coleman's a head case and Josh Gordon's got to stay off the weed, but if you're able to keep them both on there, it could have been crazy to see them on the same team together. But we'll never know.
Yeah, it would have been good.
It would have been interesting to see because Corey Coleman probably would have gotten the ire of Tom Brady, and I would have loved to see that meltdown on the sidelines.
I would have loved to see Corey Coleman get cussed out by Tom Brady. Do your fucking job.
I would have loved to see that meltdown. I would love to see that meltdown. I'd pay money to see that, but we're not going to. Does Corey Coleman get signed again this year?
Unless some major injury happens, I don't think so. He's already got cut twice.
If he does get signed, does he get signed before Dez does?
He couldn't.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what happens with people that the Patriots sign and they cut? They always stay within the AFC East. That always happens.
Oh, so I got a question. Who drops more passes? My boy Jones from the Packers or Coleman?
Coleman.
Coleman's
only had like 1 season of doing it.
So
and it's enough to set that precedent.
Well, he's only played 3 years. This would be his 3rd year. His 3rd year, and he couldn't make the Browns or the Bills teams. So
perfect segue to where I want to fucking go. Fire fucking Hugh Jackson. Yeah. Fire that motherfucker. Can we do it? I think so. Because
I'd say so.
it's fucking time. It's fucking time to get rid of that motherfucker.
Can I give my opinion about Hugh Jackson, even though I just started watching football this year?
Absolutely. Go right
and
the fuck ahead.
after watching training camp, he seems too soft. He seems too nice.
Ooh.
Honestly, he goes, all right, guys, we just got to do it and grab the ball and go to practice. And no, you get on their fucking, motherfucker, get on the fucking line. Pass it.
Okay, so I think you're being over aggressive.
I know Todd Haley is gonna fucking
Todd Haley's gonna be the head
out
coach
one day.
He's gonna be the head coach.
I'd rather have a coach yell at me to correct me than be like, all right, come on, guys. Just
Yeah.
get on the line.
Yeah, no,
Todd
he's a fucking
Haley's
puss.
like
Yeah.
Todd Haley.
Well, should have got.
Todd Haley is your cheating girlfriend's boyfriend that she said I'm not going to leave you for, but then the Browns are going to leave you for that guy. So Hugh Jackson is the boyfriend right now, and then the Browns are going to go to Todd Haley after.
Yeah,
a
Todd
little
Haley's
bit.
going to end up being the head coach, and the second Todd Haley
He'll
becomes the
be
head coach,
interim.
yep. And guess who's going to get benched immediately?
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, guess who's a better coach than Hugh?
I think Tyrod.
Coach McCarthy.
Tyrod.
Coach from West
Tyrod
High.
saved his job for a week.
But is Tyrod Taylor
It's Tyrod.
going to be able to help this offense grow? With the 2 weeks that I've seen,
No.
I don't see him being
Last
able to,
week he didn't do jack nothing. This one
No.
he kind of
He's had a good
if he
fourth
missed a
quarter.
couple
plays like he
throws.
did.
Yeah, good fourth.
He
quarter.
secured his job one more week, but I don't think he's
Yeah.
going to do enough to unleash this offense.
Baker start week
He's
4.
he's like he doesn't he's not aggressive. You don't take the shot.
Not at all.
And
You
Do you
know-
think he
Pittsburgh,
picked up
didn't-
those habits
didn't
because of
take
Buffalo?
shots.
No. He's been like that his whole career.
Well, he got benched for Buffalo for no reason.
Yeah, the only thing
No.
that's holding this team back is the offense and the kicking game because their defense is playing very well right now.
Because
Very
the
well.
one thing he did in Buffalo, I don't understand how he took that team to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Well, I understand. I know.
Who was on
I
that
understand.
team last year? The same as this year?
Basically the same people. I know how the Chargers missed like four field goals.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they got in the playoffs.
If the Chargers had a kicker, they would have been in the playoffs, and the Bills wouldn't have been. But that's neither here nor there.
And John Dorsey's looking hella smart right now for picking Denzel Ward when everybody wanted Bradley Chubb because their pass rush is looking nice. Myles Garrett's really coming into his game, and Denzel
Miles
Ward,
Garrett is freaking ripped.
Yeah,
He looks like
is,
a Greek god.
Yeah, he is a
That
muscular
dude is
man.
built.
Whoa.
Like he looks like a herb, but his body's like, yo.
He
that
is a
motherfucker-
muscular man. Fun fact, we were watching
Pause.
a Family Feud
Pause.
with Myles Garrett on it yesterday. And Stephon Diggs went up there, and
Oh God.
and the question they said, finish his phrase. Leave it, and he goes in,
In.
and then the crowd blows up, and then Steve Harvey's just like, "Are you serious? You can't be serious." It was one of the funnier things I've ever seen. Then they asked Gerald McCoy, they're like, "If you were wearing a loincloth, what size would it be?" And he goes, 3X. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, if the average
I don't
man,
even
and he's like,
think they know what a loin
3X.
is. Do they even know what a loin is?
A loincloth?
A loincloth.
Loincloth, yeah.
I wonder if
They
they
know
know
what
what
a
a loincloth
loincloth
is.
Steve
Yeah, they
Steve
do.
Harvey's just like, an average man is going to ask for a 3X, and Joe McCoy's just going to be like, yup. I was
No,
like,
it's
oh, my God.
they asked 100 wives
Oh, my God.
to describe their partner in a loincloth. What
See,
size
I don't agree with
yeah.
Charles Barkley a lot, but I agree with him to the sentiment of where, like, not a lot of football players are really smart. Not a lot of football players are all up there.
Oh, you created a segue, but we're not ready to move. Oh, man. That was a very good segue, but we're not ready to move yet.
What?
He just had a very good segue to the next topic, but we're not going to use it just yet. Going back to my point, the one person who's going to take the shots that's need be is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Get him in the fucking game.
And once he gets into the job, he's not going to give it up.
Exactly. Get
done
him
it
into the
his
game.
whole
He's going to try to make the plays that Tyrod won't, because I
Oh,
guarantee you he's
who
seeing.
who are their next two opponents?
We got the Jets on Thursday. And Hunter, I'm going to need you to pick the next one.
I got you.
That Jets game might be interesting.
Ravens.
The Jets going to be very interesting. Spoiler
Oh, not
alert,
the
I'm not
Ravens.
picking the Jets.
My bad. The Jets on Thursday, then the Raiders the Sunday after.
That Raiders game is going to be difficult.
Those are two winnable teams.
So here's their
Two
schedule.
winnable games.
Jets, Browns. Well, it's Jets, then the Raiders, then the Ravens, then the Chargers, then the Bucks, then the Steelers.
That's
The
a rough
Ravens,
stretch.
The Ravens after the Raiders.
Then ready? After
Yes.
the Steelers, they got the Chiefs, then the Falcons, then the Bengals, then the Texans, then the Panthers, then the Broncos, then the Bengals, then the Ravens.
Damn,
They're
they
not
got a
gonna
tough
they're
ass
not
schedule.
they're not
Holy
gonna throw
crap.
Baker to the Ravens. They'll throw him.
But
after that.
I think Baker starts week 4.
I
and
say
5.
throw them to the Chiefs, if anything. It's
He'll have
in
a good game against
November.
the Chiefs.
Chiefs have a terrible defense.
Just make
Chiefs
him-
have
Who
terrible
knows?
defense.
Maybe they're like, you know what? We need this divisional game, and we feel like Baker's going to be the guy that's going to give us an opportunity.
And his
to
first
do it.
start against the defense.
Hey.
Jimmy Smith will be back.
I say throw them against the Steelers or the Chiefs because they both have shitty defenses.
Yeah, the Steelers' defense hasn't been good since Tebow fucking tore him
And
up.
then you start them off on a rivalry, and there you go. You got them in a start.
I
as a
think
Browns
Baker's
too.
put in the perfect position to succeed right now. Let Tyrod be incredibly average, and then all you have to go in there is just be a little bit better than average, and then that job's yours for the next however many years.
Yeah, Baker's perfect for that role too because you don't have a big name wide receiver. You don't have Josh Gordon anymore.
got
Baker
Juice.
really didn't play with the
They
big.
still got Jarvis Landry.
Juice.
Oh, they got Juice. Yeah, I forgot.
Bless him.
Yo.
Oh, my bad.
got Jarvis
My bad.
Landry.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, sorry.
And
Bless
fucking
him.
Holloway.
I meant to say
Holloway's
like
gonna be some.
They got 3 running
I meant
backs.
to
Callaway.
say I meant to say like a big name wide receiver that's gonna like command the ball. That's gonna be like a Des Bryant in your ear. Juice is like
Juice is not going to demand it, but
he's not
Juice
gonna
will get
command
his.
it, but he's gonna get it.
He'll get
but
his. But that's going to help him.
It'll help
I
him a
think
lot.
That's also to the point I was making about Darnold, where you said yesterday the Jets need a number 1 wide receiver, and I said I don't think that's good right now. Where I think I like having a bunch of B wide receivers because it gives Sam Darnold an opportunity to learn
I
as a
wouldn't
leader.
say B wide receivers.
Jermaine Kearse is a B wide receiver, correct?
I think Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson's a B. I'd say
Is
a B plus wide receiver.
Robbie Anderson has the potential to be a superstar.
Yes, he does. But Jermaine Kearse is a B. Quincy Noon was a B minus, C plus. Terrell Pryor is a C minus. After yesterday, I want him
He's a
dead.
D+.
Wait, question. Terrell Pryor,
Terrell Pryor's a D plus.
he was a quarterback at once, right?
Yes.
What
Yeah.
happened? Why he go to receiver?
He's
for?
not a good quarterback.
Because he's not a good quarterback.
He played quarterback in college, right?
He played quarterback
And
for
on the
Browns.
Raiders.
That's
On the Raiders.
On the Raiders, yeah.
Because
That's
I
right.
remember I was watching the Jets game last week.
He played a little bit of
watching-
quarterback for the Browns.
I was like, oh, Terrell Pryor caught a whatever yard touchdown. Who? I was like, wait, I googled him. I'm like, wasn't he a quarterback?
Then he had one good year as wide receiver for Cleveland, and then he went to the Redskins and he shit the bed.
Played a
Yeah.
little bit of quarterback that year too.
Yeah, so as we were saying, I think it's better for him to play with a bunch of B receivers, learn how to be a leader, distribute the ball before you have that superstar receiver that's demanding, because then he can hold that receiver accountable and tell him to shut his ass.
I think the opposite view on that is that sometimes
Sometimes it's good.
Sometimes it's good because you get the burden taken off of you a little bit, and you're not making those mental mistakes because you have a guy that can bail you out. But it just depends if they're. It just depends if they are if they're selfish or not. If they're going to be like, I want the ball. If they're going to be a diva, then that's going to be the thing that's going to hold
So
him down.
I'm also don't want him to get too comfortable with the number 1 receiver, because then you turn into Stafford and Calvin, where all you do is throw the ball to Calvin and nobody else.
Calvin's one of a kind. I mean, it could also turn out like being like the Falcons, where you got Matt Ryan. He's not like throwing Julio in every play. He's kind of just distributing the ball.
Well, Matt Ryan also didn't have great receivers for the first 2 years of his career.
Yeah, but it also helped. It also doesn't.
Then he got Julio
Doesn't
because
hurt to
Roddy
have a guy
White
like
was
that.
on the decline when he first got there.
Roddy
Yeah,
White. Yeah.
He had Roddy White in the beginning when he took over, but then
Roddy
Roddy
White
White.
But Roddy White stopped performing in the second and third year he was there.
Like 2011.
No,
Yeah.
it's like the third, fourth year
Yeah.
Julio was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
That was it.
he didn't really get that superstar receiver until Julio got there.
No, he caught Roddy White in the mid-end of his prime.
Exactly. So
Yeah, last good year that Roddy White. I mean, Roddy White had 80 receptions, 921 yards in 2014. His last over 1,000-yard season was 2012. He had 92 receptions, 1,300 yards.
yeah, so
That was the year after Julio was drafted. So
yeah, so I'd say give Darnold the rest of this year and maybe next year,
'Cause,
get a
like,
running back.
Look, Matt Ryan's rookie year was 08. Roddy White had 88 receptions, 1382 yards. They just don't have that type of receiver on their roster right now.
And
Like,
we're
you
not
get
going
90
to.
receptions.
I don't think we should even focus on that until we address the offensive line and
They
running
need to
back.
get a running back.
Running back and offensive line. Because if
you
you
go.
have a bunch of B receivers, or you can make a C- receiver into a C+ or B- receiver, that makes you better as a quarterback.
There's a
When was the
guy
last time
named
Jets had a good
Le'Veon
running back
Bell
anyway?
Who hasn't reported
When was
to
the last
camp.
time the Jets had a good running back?
They had Thomas Jones.
Thomas Jones, Sean Green, 2008 to 2011.
Oh, so
That's
just a
why.
3 year
That's
span.
why next offseason.
LaDainian
or
Tomlinson
if I'm-
as well.
If I'm the Jets right
got him
now,
at,
I'm
like, the
offering
end of his
a-
career.
Yeah, but he was still good.
Yeah, he got him at the end of his career.
Still
last
put up
2
numbers.
years.
Yeah, if I'm the Jets right now, though, I'm gonna offer a package to try to get Le'Veon
Uh,
because he would help you.
there's no point in trading for him.
He would. It's either because he said he wouldn't
Because
sign
the
with
Steelers
Jets
aren't going to
and trade.
budge. The Steelers already have said they're not going to trade for him. They're not going to listen to any trades. They're just going to figure it out. Le'Veon will have to come on his own accord. Am I prepared for that? No, I don't think we're going to get him because he already shit on us once.
Oh yeah, he did.
He shit on us very hard publicly, saying that he would never play for us. So do I want him? Yeah. Do I have a little bit of a resentment towards him? Yeah, I do. But I would love to have him. But yeah, I'm not slurping anything. But it is what it is. Offensive line, running back. If we could work with a group of B receivers, I'm all in. Back to smart guy in the NFL. What the fuck's up with Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, I don't know.
Homeboy out here looking like Conor McGregor, yo. The fuck
Hey,
you
man.
talking about?
He's coming
Hey,
out here-
He's
Harvard.
balling.
he's coming out here looking like Tom Brady.
With the Harvard.
He went to
How
Harvard.
about that beard handshake?
Oh, when
that
they
shit was
rub the beards
great.
together?
That was great.
That is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. When they literally, Ryan Fitzpatrick lifts up his helmet to rub beards with an offensive lineman.
I will say this. Jameis Winston just lost his job.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
did.
Which is exactly what I was going to say. Week 4 is coming around. Jameis Winston's riding that pine. And apparently there was a news article that broke saying that Jameis Winston texted his receiving corps pretty much saying that he lost his job.
Oh yeah, he couldn't do what fucking Fitzpatrick was doing with these receivers.
No.
But
He gets them the ball.
my problem is Fitzpatrick's going to do this year. And then
Oh,
next year,
he's not
he's going
even
to
another.
die out.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
what he's done all his career.
Yeah. He does something one year and then he commands a bigger
He does
contract.
something.
And
He
then
gets a contract. He did it with Buffalo.
Did it with the
yeah, with
Jets.
the Jets.
Then he did it with the Jets.
I was all prepared to get a Fitzmagic jersey.
He's the only quarterback in Bucks history to throw 4 touchdowns in consecutive games.
With that being said,
Name the quarterbacks for the Bucks.
Brad Johnson,
Jeff Garcia,
Jameis Winston,
Damn, he's like Jeff Garcia.
Josh
Gosh,
Freeman,
damn.
Josh Freeman,
Glennon,
Mike Lennon,
Trent Dilfer.
Trent,
Trent.
Dilfer,
Oh boy.
Steve Young.
Steve Young.
Yay, Hunter and Steven at the same time. Stats.
But Fitzpatrick also has 8 touchdowns right now.
Steve Spurrier.
All right, you're reaching. We moved
All
on.
right. 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, 819 yards, a 151.5 passer rating, 78% completion percentage.
Now, with that being said, in this performance, do you think it stays consistent?
No,
Because the Bucs defense has
No.
also looked great.
it is not.
It's gonna go up and down.
It
He's
will.
not gonna do this all year.
No.
Well, I have more on this when we do our picks
Excellent.
later in the week. So I don't want to.
Does Jameis get his job back at any point in this season?
No, Jameis will not be on this team
Not
Great
unless,
next year.
Great point to make.
he's a
Next
bust.
year he won't be on this.
He's
team.
I was talking to Hunter a little bit earlier about this. Do the Giants make a move for Jameis Winston?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
As a Cowboys fan, I would love if they did.
You wouldn't. The reason I say this is that that Giants offense is electric. They're gonna address that offensive line. That's gonna be their area of need for the next 2
Dude,
years.
Eli got sacked like 7 times.
Yeah, he did. He also was a
Ridiculous.
fucking trash bag.
Winston's only a little bit more mobile than Eli.
But here's the thing. That's what's gonna help him out.
he's
The mobility.
He's not a little scrambler.
No,
He's
but
not
the
a scrambler
mobility
pocket passer.
to move out of the pocket, the Manning brothers move as well as rocks. right?
Eli Manning a few years ago he can move out of the pocket.
Eli's never been able to move out of the
Eli,
pocket.
come on
He
now.
could.
Shut your mouth. Shut your whole
I'm not
mouth.
saying every play,
Maybe
but
against
I'm saying
in the Super
some
Bowl
moments
against you
he could.
guys, but like, if you look at Eli Manning historically, he's about as mobile as a fucking newborn baby.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not saying that he's like moving out on every play. I'm saying like there's like some plays where he's able to move out.
He
like
showed some
Right.
agility. I feel like a quarterback who's like Jameis Winston, who can move a little bit more, who can extend plays with his legs, may work out better in New York.
You're getting basically the same quarterback.
Yeah, and he's inaccurate. Too.
I say that, but-
quarterback has won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but Jameis Winston throws more interceptions.
But he doesn't have the level of talent that's on
Eli
this
Manning
team.
also kind of has a respect in that Giants locker room, and it's
And you know,
because he's won
he's
the
gonna
Super Bowl
lose
this
it.
year.
Eli
And he's losing
does.
it.
He gets the ball to Odell.
Yeah, and Jameis Winston. He's
Jameis
gonna
Winston
go
last year had a whole year with fucking Deshaun Jackson. He could not get him the ball.
Yeah, but how many times did he get the ball to Mike Evans?
2 games.
But how many
Could have
times?
got it more.
Look up Mike Evans' stats from last year, really quick. Mike Evans, wide receiver, Tampa Bay. Because,
Look at Mike Evans' stats the first 2 games last year compared to this year.
but also, when was the last time
Fitzpatrick.
Tampa had a running back?
That is going to be rough to do. Last year, 71 receptions, 1,001 yards. The year before, 96 for 1,300.
How many touchdowns both those years?
12 the year before, 5 last year.
Okay,
Not a lot of touchdowns.
not a lot.
That's
Of
a
the
big that's a red zone
touchdown
last
drop
year.
off. Touchdown drop
yeah,
off.
touchdown drop off, and he had a new weapon last year in Deshaun Jackson. He could not get Deshaun the ball, and they couldn't score.
So, do you think? Because he also can't have. They haven't been able to really run the ball successfully in the last 3 years either. Do you think getting him in New York with Saquon, someone who could dump the ball off the passing game as well, giving him Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, and Odell Beckham?
I just don't think Jameis Winston is. I think he's a bust.
I think it would be an interesting fit because he also hasn't had great coaching in Tampa either.
I mean, he's had an offensive coach. I mean, he's not a good coach. I mean, obviously, right now you're seeing that he's a good offensive coach.
Oh, he's a perfect fit for the Giants because he'll fucking get himself in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, one will shoot himself in the leg. The other one will pop his fingers.
And he'll be closer to Baltimore, so he'll be able to get all the crab legs he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's gonna grope the wrong person, and he'll be in
There's
jail.
a lot of Uber drivers in New York, so
Yeah.
Very true. I don't know. That's just my thinking. I think the Giants, since they don't have a plan, who knows? With the way they're looking right now, they'll probably have the number 2 pick again, and they're going to end up dealing that for a quarterback.
It looks like it.
And I feel like they're going to end up dealing it to Tampa.
There's not a strong quarterback class. Like, this was the year to get your quarterback, your franchise quarterback. That's why I say they messed up by not taking Sam Darnold. They messed up because you could draft a running back in any round, and he could be the league's leading rusher. You know, it just depends. But
It all depends, but I think the way
you
they
could
built
draft
it,
you only have like. There's only so many like quarterbacks that could be a franchise quarterback.
So
that
many
you
good
get.
offensive linemen.
that too.
Right, yeah,
I
that's
thought
it.
they should have went offensive line.
They could have got.
Am I
Jack
mad at the
Conklin.
Saquon Barkley pick? No,
All right, just
because
super quick. The best Tampa Bay running backs was Mike Allstott,
Stop the gut.
Yeah.
Cadillac Williams,
Cadillac Williams.
and LeGarrette
Cadillac
Blount.
didn't last that long. Cadillac and LeGarrette Blount was kicked off that team.
For
punching people.
He got traded to
Yeah.
the Patriots for like a 7th
He
round pick.
only got good. He had like one good season with Tampa Bay, and then they got rid of his ass.
Yeah,
Then
they
other
traded
than
him.
that, I don't see any. other
Doug Martin
good
was the
running
last like
Trade him
good
20%.
running back, but he couldn't
Doug
stay
Martin
healthy.
had 2 good seasons. Michael Pittman was good when they won the Super
Doug
Bowl.
Martin also got hit with some injuries. too.
Some crazy
Was
injuries
Warwick
and
Dunn and
suspensions.
Allstott.
Oh, start up that guy.
Suspensions and injuries shut down the muscle hamster, which
You're in good hands with Allstott.
they lost a great weapon on that front, so they became one-dimensional for 4 seasons. But I'm just saying, the way the offense is built in New York, you can, if you get a decent quarterback in there, they'll shine. You also have to protect them.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
I'm just not high on Jameis Winston.
I'm not
also
high on Jameis in Tampa.
I'm also not high on I think that 2015 class, because they were like, oh, the top 2 teams are going to get their quarterbacks. It kind of reminds me like what was it, 06 when Vince Young and who was it, Matt Leinart went?
Yes.
And they were like, oh, they're going to be 2 franchise quarterbacks, and they weren't. But they were 2 of the college's best quarterbacks. I think that's how it's going to be for
Vince Young
Mariota.
had a horrible coach.
And I think so does Mariota.
Yeah. They got defensive coaches.
Mariota, I just think needs another chance.
Mariota.
Jeff Fisher ruined
The problem
Vince
with Mariota is he can't stay in the field.
Yeah.
Jeff Fisher ruined.
But
Vince
is that
Young,
also
just like he was just about to ruin Jared Goff? So
is that also Mariota's fault, or is that the offensive line's fault?
offensive line is trash in Tennessee.
Both.
Yes.
But they got a good. Who's the tackle? They do have an all-pro tackle. I fucking forgot. his
Yeah, but
name.
that's only one
Taylor
lineman.
Lewan.
Taylor. Yeah, Lewan.
That's only one lineman. Who knows? One of those quarterbacks will get dealt.
Left tackle.
One of those.
Well, you got to
quarterbacks.
remember, Mariota did freaking have an epic playoff game against the Chiefs.
Well, who
He
has?
has that on his. He has that on his resume.
Yeah, he's got that. Yeah, but he's just. He needs like a Sean I know they're not Sean McVay.
As much as
receiver.
everybody needs a Sean McVay. If you
Everybody
wanna
needs
go
a
there.
Sean McVay, but no, he's a young quarterback who's mobile.
He needs Kyle Shanahan.
He needs
a receiver.
He does need a receiver.
He does.
I'll give you that right now. He doesn't have any receivers, and Delaney Walker's always hurt.
Delaney Walker's out for the year. So.
Always hurt. They gave him fumbling Deion Lewis. They have the Patriots secondary from 2014.
They should have.
Derrick Henry more. They need to use his big ass.
Yeah, they should have went offensive coach to help his development, but
He's still a work in progress. I'd say he's going to end up being more successful than Jameis Winston, unless Jameis moves to a better situation. But there's not many teams that are going to be looking for that.
my point is that they're not going to be the stars that we thought they were going to be. They're just the year after, like the Carson Wentz, Jared Goff draft. That's going to be a very well known draft. But this Jameis Winston Mariota draft, I'm pretty sure people want to forget about. But weren't they drafted in this? Was Derek Carr drafted in 14?
He was drafted with A.J. McCarron.
That was the year before, right?
2 years before.
Was that the same draft?
Yeah, it was the same draft.
He was
as
in the
A.J.
second
McCarron.
round.
It was the same draft as McCarron.
I'm looking at it.
Stat guy, looking it up. But it's interesting to see the way he was drafted 14.
He was drafted second round 36 pick.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how their going to be interesting to see how their careers play out. I think Winston will be the first person that's out, and I think the Giants will be looking at him just because of youth and his ability to move.
It's not that much.
Hey, when your quarterback currently moves as agile as a fucking stone, that doesn't take much. Doesn't take much to get the fucking your blood boiling at that point, right?
Eli didn't even have to freaking move because by the time he got the ball there back there, he had no choice but to fall down.
Yeah, well, also play calling with the Giants is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, that 2015 draft is probably it's a really terrible class. Mariota, Winston, Petty, Hundley. Jesus Christ. That's just a lot of mediocrity.
Jesus Christ. What's next?
I mean, if you want to talk about some hot starts, like we were talking about Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
take me Mahomes.
Yo, garbage. Shut the fuck up. Pat Mahomes is a fucking motherfucker. That guy, what the fuck? When you talk about someone taking the keys to a franchise and fucking running with it.
Taking the keys to the league.
Holy shit.
He's
Homeboy's
the
only
perfect
22
Andy
too.
Reid quarterback.
Is he the quarterback
that-
that Andy Reid's been looking for the past 20 years?
He
Well,
kind
that-
of has a pineapple head though.
He's the perfect Andy Reid quarterback. Too bad Andy Reid still is head coach.
Hey, so here's my theory, right? I think Andy Reid's got a new philosophy where he's going to try to score as many points as he can in the first half so he doesn't have to be clock manage.
I think Andy Reid spent all that clock management in the early 2000s whispering to Pat Mahomes' mom to make him throw the ball more and fucking hold up his arm. That's what he was doing with all that time on the clock.
Honestly,
Even when they were ahead, they still didn't run the ball against the Steelers to take time off, and the Steelers could have freaking won that game.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
could
sad
have.
part.
The Chiefs' defense is terrible, so Pat Mahomes is going to have to have these games every week for them to win.
The problem is when he scores so fast, he puts that defense back on the field.
Yep. So that's why I don't think they're going to get far in the playoffs.
That's been the problem with Andy Reid teams. They score fast, and then the defense is out there consistently.
but
Wait,
boy,
was Andy Reid
oh
the coach for the
boy.
Jets at one point?
What?
No.
Was it Andy-
No, Eagles.
Eagles. Okay, I got confused.
But boy, oh boy, do they have the perfect fucking run and
But
shoot
the segment
quarterback.
I was trying to introduce last week was the slurp of the week, and Mahomes is getting the slurp of the week.
Oh my God. Those highlights, he has the perfect offense to cater to his arm.
Do we have
perfect?
I was thinking about a segment too where it was like we talk about like we can make a bold prediction either for the week or for the season every week, and we could say like you could say like Pat Mahomes is going to win MVP.
I was about to say, if Pat Mahomes keeps up this type of performance, MVP by a long shot.
He's got a bunch of weapons.
It's
they're
one
all,
game.
They're all
Wait,
fast.
He's got the perfect down the field game. He has weapons
they
at
can
running
do.
back, tight end, wide receiver, a decent offensive line.
Tyreek Hill, arguably the fastest guy in the league. Sammy Watkins, fast. He's got
big
Kelsey.
guy.
Isn't Kelsey actually like one of the
Kelsey's
top
like
tight
one of
ends?
the fastest tight ends.
Kelsey is a top 3 tight end, one of the fastest tight ends. Boy's got some wiggle. He's my favorite tight end in the league.
I think something that's also getting lost on people, and it's like an underrated headline, is that Juju Smith-Schuster is coming into his game this year. He is coming.
Juju Smith-Schuster is a motherfucker.
He is coming.
I don't know
into
how
the
the Steelers do it, where they find these great
These
wide
great receivers. I was saying it to myself a couple weeks ago.
Always.
How is freaking Ben Roethlisberger blessed with so many great receivers? It's
They
kind of
just
like
know how to
Aaron
draft. They know how to
Rodgers.
draft receivers and running backs.
It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers.
That's
Like
the Steelers.
the Green Bay keeps.
Let me
getting
list
good
you just
receivers,
some receivers,
and
right?
then the Steelers
They
get
haven't
good
had great receivers. He makes them good, and when they go someplace else, where do they?
Yeah, Mike Wallace. Once Mike Wallace left the Steelers, when he went to Miami, they sucked.
So
But he
you
also had a
got
wide receiver
Hines
going, too.
Ward, Plaxico Burress, Santonio Holmes, Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Wallace,
Emmanuel Sanders did well for
Emmanuel
himself in
Sanders is
Denver.
like the only one that
Yeah.
left in his.
Santonio Holmes.
No, Emmanuel Sanders. We're talking about
Didn't he leave and fucking just go on to still have 1,000-yard seasons?
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah,
I mean,
two
Santonio Holmes.
more
Oh,
years with the Jets.
Yeah, and then we got rid of him.
But Emmanuel
two
Sanders
years.
is still pretty
Hey,
good.
the thing is, I think the Steelers organizations are great at fighting. Oh, let's throw Antonio Brown up there. Antonio Brown,
Antonio Brown was a 6th-round pick.
Martavis Bryant was great for them.
Yeah.
I think they're freezing out Antonio Brown on purpose because he was open on a lot of plays the past 2 weeks and been in getting him the ball.
That's another thing that
Perfect
we talked
segue.
about. Yep.
Perfect segue into Antonio Brown telling motherfuckers to trade him.
However, the guy that he
Wait,
said
didn't
to trade
he
him.
put out a tweet earlier today?
He put it on Twitter against a dude who used to, a former
He was a
employee
PR
of
guy.
the Steelers front office, where they're saying something in the lines of, Big Ben made him?
Yeah, if he goes anywhere else, he's not going to have the stats he has.
Oh, then he said trade me.
He said,
Fine,
trade me
alright.
then.
Yeah, he's a trade me then.
No way in hell that's happening. But
They are freezing him out because he sided with
However,
Le'Veon
the
Bell.
thing, I think Antonio Brown can be the exception because he's an excellent route runner. Some of these other guys, I mean, it does look like they're like part of the system and stuff.
great
but
footwork.
He's got the
Great
best footwork in
great
the league.
hands, great vision.
He's got Chad Ochocinco footwork.
I was just about to mention that. Like, do you think he's up to par with Chad Ochocinco?
Oh, yeah.
with the footwork?
Yeah,
Great
he's up there.
footwork, great hands, great
He's a
vision.
better wide receiver than Chad.
Oh, he
Ochocinco.
trains with Chad. And
Yeah, he trains
Oh,
with him.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got speed to go. He's fast as fuck, too.
So, Chad, mentioning Chad Johnson, he still got speed for his age.
No,
He had
does.
a streak at
Dude
one point
can
where he
dip.
had like the most consecutive games. I think it was like in the 40s, like the most consecutive games with 5 receptions. That's hard to do. That's hard to do.
Even
a
T.O. got
receiver.
some speed on him.
T.O.'s still very quick.
Yeah,
The
they
thing
got
with
some
T.O. is T.O. was
rockets.
quick and strong.
Yeah.
Quick and strong.
Wait, quick question. Was Calvin Johnson fast, or he was just like super?
No, Calvin
beefy?
Johnson was really fast.
He
For
was really
someone
fast.
his
He's a-
size.
For a guy his size, he was
Yeah, 6'5",
extremely
very
Guys,
big.
he's
Yeah.
almost like 6'6" to have his speed.
What,
He's not
6'5",
supposed to be running that
250?
fast.
6'5", 250? Freaky
He
fucking
had some
nature.
rockets on him, huh?
He wasn't Randy Moss fast, but he was fucking fast.
Yeah.
But he also was bigger than Randy.
Randy's like
Height.
6'1".
Oh yeah.
Randy was what, 6'2", 6'3"? And then he easily had like 30, 40 pounds on Randy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Randy did look kind of
To
scary.
have someone
Yeah.
that size and also that big
Randy Moss
move
is
like
6'4".
that,
He could catch anything, this guy. Like, every time, like, my Packers used to face him, like, fuck.
we're slurping him too, Steven.
Stafford would literally just throw it to his ass. He's got 3 people on him, and he would still come down.
He could jump.
I remember watching the Monday night
It
game.
used to piss me off how he would get bailed out like that. I'm like, oh my god, any other fucking quarterback to get intercepted.
So let me take you back to
That's
a time.
how he got a lot of his interceptions too. Is that he just threw it up?
Yes. So let me take you back to a time before my son was born. There was a Monday Night Football game between the Lions and the Seahawks. It was the day Destiny was about to come out, and this is when the Legion of Boom was still the Legion of Boom, where they still had Sherman, Browner, Chancellor, Thomas, and
The originals.
the original Legion of Boom. And when I fucking tell you that Matt Stafford threw a fucking 45-yard pass to Calvin Johnson on a deep post over Sherman, Thomas, and then whoever their fucking third corner was,
He's ridiculous.
and caught it in the end zone, no fucking problem, and I literally shit myself. Literally shit myself. It's one of the craziest football plays I've ever seen in my fucking life. And at that point, one of the greatest defenses we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's the second best athletic freak.
I was gonna
And,
say wide receiver talent. Where is he for you?
Second. In terms of size and speed, Randy Moss was 6'4" and ran that fast. He ran track speed. He ran like Olympic speed. Calvin Johnson was 6'5". He was only an inch taller, so I'd say Randy Moss is number one.
Yeah, but how
Calvin
much
Johnson was
heavier was he to be moving that fast?
Randy Moss was thin.
Yeah, but Calvin was not.
He was ripped, yeah.
Yeah.
Calvin was not thin. Calvin was a large man.
Calvin's big and he was ripped.
But I think Randy Moss also gave Calvin the opportunity to be a receiver that big, because I think if Calvin Johnson came into the league maybe like before Randy Moss, he would have been a tight end.
If Calvin didn't retire, where would he finish all time?
Second.
Steven, what do you got to say about that?
A second or third, I think probably behind Larry.
He'd be top 5 if he didn't retire.
I think he's top 5 now.
Are you talking about receiver or just stats?
Receiver.
Wise?
I'm talking
That's what
about
I was
as a
saying.
receiver. Like,
I
where
thought
does
you were
he?
talking about stats.
Where do you think he finishes? Like, if he didn't retire as a receiver on your list?
I'd say third.
He would be in the top 5.
I think for me,
Regardless.
I already think he's top 5. I think if he stayed competing at the level he was competing at, he'd probably be, to me, the best wide receiver to ever play the game.
The problem is his teams were always, the rest of the team was trash and he couldn't win anything.
Yeah, the Lions are really good at ruining the greatest of
The
all
greatest
time's
in their positions,
careers.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's a shame, too, because I think the only reason why I put him at 3 is because Jerry Rice played till he was like 41. Nobody's doing that again. I don't think he could. And also, he ran into a lot of injuries. And the reason why I put him behind Fitz is because Fitz was able to change his position later in his career when he was like losing the speed, but he didn't really like when he was losing a step, he was able to go into the slot and he was able to get a lot more yards that way, and he was able to just change positions that way. So I think that's why I would put him third behind Fitz and Jerry Rice. It's just for those reasons, because Fitz was just able to.
So he's Hall of Fame
reinvent
automatically, even with the short time he spent?
No.
Yes.
I don't think he'll get in.
He holds the
He should
record
be.
for like yards in a season, don't he?
He should be, and
I
he
think it's
does.
like 1967, yeah.
But I don't think he'll get in. Or if he does get in, it'll take him a very long time to get in.
1964 and 2012, because 2012 was a crazy year where like Adrian Peterson was about to break the single season rushing record.
The year he
and then
won
Calvin
MVP.
Johnson. Yeah, the year he won, and then Calvin Johnson could have won MVP that year too.
Yes.
Almost 2,000 receiving yards. It's a crazy year. Calvin Johnson's last year, he had 1,200 yards. It was considered a down year. The year before, he had 1,077. He played 13 games.
Jesus Christ. The only thing is, I think if Calvin were to get in the Hall of Fame, it would probably take him over 10 years to get in. Because
He's first ballot.
He's first
I
ballot.
don't think there's no way in hell he's first ballot. If he gets in first ballot, that's such
He's
a
the first
slap in
ballot
the face
Hall
of
of Fame.
Terrell Owens.
He didn't have questions
1,000.
like
Yeah.
the other guys.
He was quiet. He just did.
Yeah, but it's like
that's
if
the
we're
reason why
talking
T.O. didn't
football,
get in.
if we're talking football,
They don't take that into it
which
anymore.
sucks. That's such
Well,
a
Barry Sanders was the first ballot Hall of Famer. He fucking
He retired after 10 years.
he retired early.
I think it would just be a huge slap in the face to the guys that had to wait, the Chris Carters, the T.O.s, the fucking Lynn Swans.
Yeah, but
all
they
those
had
guys.
all off the field problems.
So,
I would have put Lynn
what
Swan.
if
I
Kevin
think
Johnson goes
Lynn
before
Swan is
Ochocinco?
only in because of the Super Bowl.
Ochocinco won't get in.
You don't think Ochocinco
No.
will ever get in?
Lynn
You
Swan's
don't know?
only in because of the
Lynn,
Super Bowl. He
Ochocinco
was
doesn't
never
have the
top
amount of
wide receiver.
catches.
He doesn't have the numbers.
He doesn't
Right.
have the numbers.
Yeah.
He does not have the catches. He has less than 1,000 catches in his career.
Wait, who?
Ocho Cinco.
Oh yeah,
He
no,
has
he's
like
not
he has
going
like
to the Hall of Fame.
865 or something like that. He
He
doesn't
was
have
on
enough catches
pace
to get
to,
it.
but
He would have
kinda messed
gotten
it
it
up.
if he didn't run into the domestic abuse problems when he went to Miami. Probably would have gotten closer,
yeah.
and then fall off in New England, not even really have an opportunity. But he ran into those issues, was out of the league for like what, a year and a half, 2 years, and then went to the New England. He dropped the ball with the domestic issues and kind of shot himself in the leg. Plexico burst. What's next?
Packers Vikings. I mean, it was a tight game going down to the wire, and then the big controversy is Kirk Cousins dropping back, throws the ball out, gets hit by Clay Matthews, throws an interception, and there's a flag on the field for roughing the passer. So
Listen, these
That's
roughing the passer penalties, it's too many things protecting a quarterback.
They
So-
call it simple
Hey,
play.
you know whose fault it is?
That's
It's
Aaron Rodgers' fault.
That is Aaron Rodgers'
There's
fault.
two things I was about to say. One, that's because of Aaron Rodgers. Blame your boy. Two, at least in that game, they were consistent with it because they made the same play call against the Vikings earlier in that game. So if you
They've
want,
been consistent with it all year.
if you want
so
the refs
far.
to make the call,
Except for in the New England
at least be
Jags game.
consistent with it, and that's something
because
they
then he
were.
like not fall on him, like he tried to roll his.
He
body
tried
to
to
the
roll
side.
off, but you could see where that's a hard play to call. It's a bang bang
You
play.
can't roll off. You
It's going
can't.
to be looked at wrong, no matter what way you put it. But
Well,
if-
can we get rid of Mason Crosby? Like,
Oh my God! Do you
listen,
want?
Are you
these
serious?
bums?
Listen,
Do you
listen,
want
He
these
missed
bums
one
that
field
bad?
goal.
Listen, Mason Crosby, since he
Here
was
we
drafted
fucking
to
go.
now, his percentages has just been declining.
You must not.
dramatically.
You must not have watched in the past
In
2
his
seasons.
contract,
Win
the
your
most
fucking
recent contract
games.
he signed, he had to make a certain percentage of field goals in order for him to get like $1 million bonus. He missed it by like 7%.
Mason Crosby, since 2013, let me read off these percentages: 89%, 81%, 85%, 86%. Last year was a little bit of a down year, 78%, which is not bad. And then this year, 85%. That is not bad at all.
And I would love for us to have the number to see how big of the field goals he's taking,
Exactly,
especially
'cause-
in Green Bay in the winter. I
How
wanna
many
see
in
you
the
do
past
that.
3 years? How many big field goals did he make to win the game?
Exactly. So
I can name 2 against the Cowboys.
Just in the big moments, you don't want to. If you get rid of Mason Crosby,
he's an all-time great.
you're going to be in the same situation that
As
the Browns
ever.
were
He's
in.
not Vinatieri.
No,
Past
so
few
you cannot compare Mason Crosby to the greatest kicker of all time. You can't do that. And guess what Adam Vinatieri was doing? He was rolling over in his grave, and he's not even dead yet yesterday, watching all these motherfuckers
Miss field goals.
miss extra points
Wait,
and field
didn't
goals.
the dude in the Vikings, he missed like a 17?
He missed the game winner.
He missed
It was
the game
17
winner. They
yards,
lined it
right?
up. He missed
How
it
do you miss
twice.
a
He missed
17
3 field goals yesterday overall.
Yeah, and Mason Crosby only missed one field goal.
He only missed the one. It was a long field
All
goal.
season. So far.
You could give him. You could
As
give
long
him
as it's 56.
Great, that's not something you
You-
can make consistently.
that's
That's a
a
hard thing to
hard
do.
How many
field goal
yards?
to
How many
make.
yards was it yesterday?
What's
'Cause I
his
forgot.
longest field goal?
Yeah, ever.
Mason-
56.
58.
50, 2 yards off.
And what was how long?
Those
was
are
the-
hard field
How
goals to
long
Those
make.
are hard
yesterday?
field goals to make, and he probably made that
Anything
58
over
yarder
50 is
in
difficult.
Lambeau.
But what was it yesterday? Because I forgot.
What was his highest yesterday?
No,
40.
what was the field
one
goal
that
he
he
missed?
Oh, I think
gotta
it
be
was a
55.
51 yarder.
Okay.
Carlson.
51-yarder.
But
Carlson missed the 50.
He made the first attempt,
Until they
but Mike
iced him.
Zimmer iced him, so that's why he missed the second one. And even the
So
announcer,
I have a
even,
question about
even the
icing,
commentator
like-
said that he put all his leg into the first attempt.
Yes.
So I got a question about icing. Like, shouldn't like
Goes on
for,
cake?
For me, it's mental.
Shut the fuck up.
For me, it's mental. Like I would like to believe that it's a mental thing for the kickers
It
for
is.
icing.
It is.
If they still follow through even after the whistle is blown for the timeout, shouldn't that them seeing the ball go through the thing give them confidence to
The
make it?
problem with
second
that
time?
is, let's say you
There
put
usually
all your
is-
power in your leg.
You're saying
But
I'm going
that
to kick this.
timeout is 45 seconds. You can pretty much recover.
No, but
Usually,
you know,
listen.
no, 'cause-
Usually, if they miss it, they make it. If they make it, that's how it's called. They're gonna miss it.
Kickers
So
don't
what
That's how
I'd,
it
like
usually
to, what
goes.
I'd like to see you do is, I would like to see you take a football and throw it as far as you can in your first try. 45 seconds, go ahead and do it. I guarantee
Inaccurate.
you. Inaccurate. And I want to see you do it again. You won't be able to do it.
Yeah,
I
and
guarantee
also
you won't be able to do it.
the mindset is they're.
But
going
aren't you
up to-
warming up on the sideline?
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
don't.
but
you
it's
get
different
all
when you're warming up on the sideline. There's nobody
Kicking
coming
into a
after
net.
you.
Yeah,
There's
but
nobody
you're
coming
getting
after
your
you.
leg ready.
Yeah, when you're warming
No.
up on the sideline,
You kick
don't
into a
have-
net that's
you
like
gotta-
2 yards away from you.
Yeah,
No,
then
it's
you're not
isn't it a
gonna-
matter of getting like you're stretching your leg and like getting the muscles up?
So not
running
only
stuff?
this goes back to being
Oh, God.
being in shape and then in football shape, right? When you are kicking and you're simulating kick, it is completely different than kicking when people are trying to hurt you.
Yeah, and also when you're kicking on the sideline, you're not putting all that leg power into the net.
Yeah.
You're putting all that leg power on the field. You can't.
Yeah.
That's why they don't have to, like, if they had to kick 2 field goals in a row, they would miss 50%.
They're warming up. They're not practicing 50
Yeah.
yarders on the sideline.
So now I got a question about the position of field goal kickers. I know it's 2 step back and 3 steps to the left or right, whatever. Can you take an extra step or no? Or is it that's the
I
fundamental?
think you can do whatever the fuck you want, but
So
it's
you
just
can
what
take as
kickers-
many
I'm not
steps
aware of what
back,
the rule
or-
is.
I don't think there's a rule on that.
I'm
think
pretty
I
sure there
learned about
is.
that. But I think the thing is and another thing with kickers is a lot of kickers, when they miss that first field goal, they'll miss like 3 straight, as you saw in Cleveland. Mason Crosby, I think if you gave him another chance, he was going to make that because he's been in the league 10 years. You can't throw a rookie kicker. You can't even draft rookie kickers because you're like, damn, they're just going to miss. Bucks drafted Roberto Aguayo in the fucking second round because they thought he was going to be the greatest kicker ever. And he ends up fucking going mental
Having a
because
fucking
he
head
misses,
case, yeah.
because he misses field goals. Once you miss that first field goal, that could ruin your confidence.
Hard knocks. Aguayo and Folk going back to back with fucking field goals, and they both make combined like 40% of the
suck.
field goals. Every
They're
kicker in the
missing
NFL is
extra
having a
points.
stroke. Every kicker is having a stroke.
On the
And
Carlson, you can't blame him for missing the field goal, but that one to win the game where they lined it up. all
Yeah,
have
you
to
can't
is
do
kick
that.
it
They
in the middle.
ran it in the middle for a reason. They ran it in the middle.
That
with Latavius Murray for a
that
reason.
one is a fireable offense.
and guess what? They brought in Dan the Man Bailey.
And they brought in the second most accurate kicker of all time.
That was the
Which
funniest thing was the Cowboys' first kick of the year was a missed field goal.
Yeah.
Field goal was a missed field goal, and everybody was like,
and then if you listen to Zimmer in the press conference, they're like, "Was cutting your kicker a hard decision to make?" He said, "Absolutely not."
yeah. thanks,
Hey,
everybody.
and you know,
Wait, this was today?
You know what sucks?
Holy
You know what
shit, that's
sucks
me.
is every year I would joke with my brother, and I was serious. I said the next Cowboys jersey I get is a Dan Bailey Cowboys jersey, and then I can't even get that no more. Where I say every time I get the jersey, the person's not on the team.
quick question: does Dan Bailey go into the Ring of Honor?
He should. I love Dan Bailey.
I think the Browns dropped the ball and didn't contact Dan Bailey first because
A lot of teams drop the ball. And
he got 4 contract offers and declined all 4.
He declined all 4 because he wanted the right situation, and the Vikings are the right situation.
Vikings are the
So I
right
think he made the
situation?
right
Oh yes,
decision.
they are.
But I think the Browns would have been.
But
a
the
good
problem
situation
is
for
when
He's got a
the
chance to go get
Vikings
a ring.
situation now, he's got the Vikings bad juju on them.
Yes.
On him now.
Now he's in the right situation. He can go get himself a ring if he wants to.
Yeah, he's in the right situation, but the Vikings history of the Vikings.
Skull.
You
The
know what?
history of the Vikings, they always fall short. They've
I
had
feel
good
it.
kickers before. Go look, which Anderson did they have? Stat guy.
I
They
think,
make the field goal there in the Super Bowl.
I think his name was hold on.
What was that? The one against the Saints?
No, against the Falcons a long time ago, like 20 years ago. It was Morton Anderson or Gary Anderson.
Gary
They were
Anderson.
both.
Gary
They were
Anderson.
both, and Morton was on the other team, and they missed the fucking field goal that would have sent them to the Super Bowl. He was a good kicker.
Yeah.
Is he all time in points?
Yes, he is. He's also 80% field goal kicker and 99% extra points. But dude was born in 1959, and the play happened in 1998. What?
Kickers
40.
usually play a long time. Yeah, the motherfuckers were playing like.
Who
the
Vinatieri's still playing?
late
He's like
40.
48.
How old is Vinatieri? Look at him.
Yeah, he's 45.
Yeah, he's got to be 45. And then there was a Giants kicker a couple years ago that was fucking super fucking old. Super fucking old. That dude looked like he had to walk out there with a fucking cane. And still was banging out 45-yarders.
Josh Brown.
Well, look at
Did that dude
Janikowski's. Look at Janikowski's drunk ass.
Oh, yeah. He's also, like, in his 40s.
I just realized
He
your
was
Hunter's
drafted
gonna
in the
pass
first
straight.
round in the 2000 draft with Tom Brady. Well, in the same draft as Tom Brady.
They're both Hall of Famers, too.
And he was a higher draft pick than Tom Brady.
Yeah, Janikowski,
He's a first round pick.
Yeah, he's
isn't
drafted like 16th overall.
Oh, fuck.
You got the greatest player of all time in the fucking 6th round.
Hey, they got the greatest player at his position.
Greatest player in NFL history drafted in the 6th round.
Sebastian Janikowski.
And a kicker was taken in the first round.
Man, that should be up there with fucking Sam Bowie and Michael Jordan.
John Gruden drafted him in the first round.
That's Al Davis for you.
I think that's a good segue to go to that Broncos-Raiders game. What a shit show John Gruden is over there in Oakland.
You know what
Vegas?
He said after the game, we needed more pass rush.
No, yeah.
Yeah, we
No,
needed
did
more
you say
pass
that
rush.
last week too?
You know
that
what really
last
helps with pass rush? That guy who used to wear 52, but is wearing 52 in Chicago now. That's also what's his name? Khalil Mack.
Yeah, what's his name? Yeah,
Khalil Mack. Fucking Khalil Mack giving fucking Aaron Rodgers fits. Russell Wilson fits. Jesus Christ, is this motherfucker on pace to be Defensive Player of the Year unanimously?
I would like a mulligan on my Defensive Player of the Year, but I'm gonna wait till.
Yeah, we're not giving out mulligans here. We gotta stay with our picks.
You gotta stay with your pick.
We gotta stay with our picks.
Can we get a mulligan on one award though?
No, fuck you.
No.
Just one award.
No, that sounds like a guy who has regrets.
That sounds like a person
Joey Bosa,
that's not used to winning.
I took Joey Bosa. I'm keeping Joey Bosa. Because who knows? When he gets out there, maybe he'll fucking kill it.
Maybe.
But Khalil Mack, holy shit. John Gruden looks like an asshole.
What was his stats today?
What he had at halftime, he had 3 tackles, forced fumble.
A sack, forced fumble. That was at halftime.
But like, holy shit, that dude is balling out, and John Gruden looks like a retard. Sorry, using that R word, America, but he.
Oh my
it is what
god,
it
the
is.
apple chewing.
It's okay to use because people are too soft. I don't care.
Some personal news. Happy birthday, Jaden.
Oh yeah, it is
Oh, snap!
now
It's past
12.
Happy birthday to my nephew.
Happy birthday to my
Happy
little baby boy
birthday,
Jaden.
Jaden.
He is 4 years old.
And Anna.
No, it's 5.
Fuck Anna. He's 4.
I always thought he was 4. What
You're
the
a
hell?
fucking idiot.
Where you been?
God damn it.
He still
love
can't
you,
talk.
He can talk.
I
He
still
talks
love him.
well. He talks rather well. He just chooses not to.
He just says, no, you're mean most of the time, but it's okay.
He goes, that's not nice. He went on his first couple roller coasters. When we went on the roller coaster, he looks to me and says, and I quote, no way, no more, no way. It's not fair. It's not fair. And then we go on one of those things where you get launched up and come down, and he wanted to go because he said he wanted to fly. And we go up there. I fucking lock him in. He goes, no way. And we get up there, and the second we start flying up, he starts kicking his legs. He starts kicking his legs. He's like, no way. It's not fair. It's not fair. He had a blast at Elmo's house. He embarrassed me by not eating any food at Elmo's house. But he did take a bunch of pictures of Elmo. We won him a lot of carnival games. He's been playing Mario Odyssey on my Switch because I taught him how to play. Little does he know, we bought him a 2DS in Mario 3D Land so he can play himself so Daddy can have his game back.
Hey.
So, because Daddy was going to fucking replay that game because it's
I
fantastic.
play for keeps.
But this little bitch decided to take my shit, and we've been using it as ways to get him to eat food.
He didn't even want to use it. He didn't even want to give it back to you today, the Switch.
No.
He was in the living room just
And he
playing
gets
that.
mad at it when it dies.
Yeah, they even
He gets
when
real mad
started-
at it when it dies. He says it's
gets
not
so
fair.
upset.
He says it's not fair. I don't know where he's getting this not fair thing, but listen, Jaden.
I know where he's getting the not fair thing.
Listen, Jaden, let me give you a fucking heads up. Life's not fucking fair. You're grounded.
What was that thing? Did you see that tweet where the guy said, "I got my son a toy car, but I put a boot on it because I let him know life's not fair," and you put an actual boot on the car.
Oh my god. Yeah, we didn't even realize he was in the living room when we were recording in the studio until we heard him start yelling at the game.
Yeah.
No.
His favorite thing to do in that game is to change Mario's outfits. He likes to go with his regular clothes, go jump around for a bit, go change his safari clothes, go jump around a bit.
That means he's trying to have swag. That means he's gonna have some.
Yo,
you know,
he gets it. This kid gets it, and he's only 4.
I mean, you see his shoe collection you got him?
Yeah, no, I don't play games.
Homeboy swagged out.
Stand for something even means sacrificing everything. Do we got anything else on her?
That's it. That's all we got on the docket today. Unless you guys have anything, Steven, you got anything you want to discuss?
I got one thing if nobody has anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Well,
Dwayne Wade, man. One more year. One more ride.
You know what? It's great that we just talked about this. I'm glad he's finally calling it quits. His Kobe tour.
Oh, yeah.
His last game is not going to be anywhere near as cool as Kobe's was.
Do you think they're going to give him the ball every play, you think?
No.
No?
I don't think he's going to ask for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Unless they're in the playoffs or they're out the playoffs.
If they're not,
they have a chance to win the playoffs. They're in the playoffs last year.
I don't think this year they're going to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool. Like, I'm
he's
surprised
he's not going to start. He'll start that game. He'll get the honorary start.
Yeah.
But I think, depending on the way the game goes, he won't play much.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to start Tyler Johnson ahead of him. I think.
No. Wade will come off the bench. Wade will come off the bench. Wade came off the bench when he went back.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but do you think they pull like a Kobe where it's like you're going to start every game because you're
No.
No.
I think they're trying to play for the playoffs. I think this season they're playoff minded.
Yeah, that's usually how the Heat are.
Unless either they have a secure playoff spot or they're not going to make the playoffs. Then they'll start, I guess, giving them the ball to shoot more.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like I said on the podcast last week, is I didn't want to see him go this offseason. I like to get some time. I was sad that Tim Duncan even went in the dark.
But that's, I think, for some players, that's the way to do it. And for Tim Duncan, that was the most Tim Duncan thing to do.
Even like Manu Ginobili, when he had his interview yesterday, day before, he goes, I was just seeing the guys in the workout room. He goes, yeah, I can't do it. I'm definitely done.
Yeah, no, the way these guys are retiring, it's the right way to do it. Like, they don't need to have a farewell tour. Dwayne Wade being the 3rd greatest shooting guard of all time,
he deserves it.
He deserves it. Like, he deserves his final
He's also
tour.
not playing like a bum right now. He's not playing how he should be.
He's getting out at the right
15,
time.
At least he's still in the teens. He's not averaging.
He's getting out at the right time before he becomes unwanted.
Yeah.
At least people still want to see him. And I'm glad that he realizes that it's done.
Yeah.
And he's not going to try to overstay his welcome like a lot of players do, a la Vince Carter. He also needs to go.
Yo, listen, ever since the NBA took out that ban a few weeks ago for like the shoe colors, I think the way Wade colorways are going to be bonkers this year. But
his shoes suck.
But he does have some really nice looking shoes.
Yeah,
they just don't sell, but they look.
Because they're Chinese as fuck.
Yeah.
Still, they're going to be.
I know my shoes are made in China, but fuck, they got that swoosh on them. God damn.
But I think those Wades, he's going to have some dope ass colorways.
Yeah.
Because Li Ning does have some pretty. Nice.
Can you say that again?
Li Ning.
Li Ning, can you pull your eyes apart? Like, make them slanty while you say it?
I mean, even.
Li Ning!
I do not condone this.
Because even Klay Thompson has some dope ass colorways.
Li Ning!
Klay Thompson's China trips are the highlight of every summer.
Klay Thompson's got a dope beard right now.
Yo, I'm surprised. I'm so happy we're not have a visual because dude.
Oh, super problematic what I was just doing.
It's problematic
Oh,
even
so
with the audio.
I was being a terrible Chinaman right now.
Chinaman from South Park.
Yeah, Chinaman. Oh, hello, welcome to Shitty Walk. You want some shitty chicken, shitty shrimp?
You know what's crazy? I was impersonating Jackie Chan Adventures, the grandpa.
God.
One more thing. I was doing that a couple years ago. Some dude's like, "You're freaking ignorant." I'm like, "You ever watch Jackie Chan Adventures?"
Yo, let me tell you about a quick sidebar. Let me tell you about the time I went to fucking Canal Street in fucking Chinatown when I was a senior in high school, and I'm walking into fucking stores just going, shay shay, shay shay, shay shay, being the fucking worst human being. And I'm walking around with Janice, my fiance, and we're walking around with her and 2 of our friends, Matt Fernandez and somebody else. I don't remember you. Sorry at this moment in time. But I'm walking around being the worst human being of all time. Just like, oh, hello. Oh, just being that guy.
Hello.
God, if looking back at the shit that I've done, I am a shithead. But whatever, it's cool. It is what it is.
Yeah, I miss you like that, so there.
Steven, you got anything?
Do you guys have any personal takeaways from like your games, like the like?
Oh, Steven's gonna go on a tangent about how
Okay.
Odell Beckham was shut down.
He was shut down.
Oh my God, here we go.
He was shut down. I talked to everybody at work. They all said he was shut down.
Yeah, everybody at Steve's work is right.
My thing is, the way it was being
really
said
watch the game,
was the Cowboys corners were locking him down like one-on-one. That's how I was taking it. I'm like, no, that's not how it was, because he was getting triple teamed and Eli Manning was overthrowing that motherfucker like
shut down
a shit ton. They went out of their way to put 2 extra defenders on Odell Beckham, which is
he
nuts.
was shut down.
Which is nuts. But on the plays where it was man-to-man, boy, did Eli Manning fuck that up.
They knew what to do.
They knew to put the game in Eli's hands.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's like, so like, let's say like the last throw to Odell, that was a streak on the right side of the end zone when Odell had the man beat by like 2-3 steps. That ball was so overthrown. It's absolutely insane. I'm not going to call that a shutdown because that's just a poor throw.
He was shut down. Here's the thing.
I'm not okay. You're really going to say a poor throw, a corner that gets beat is being shutting him down? That's not true. That is not shut down anything.
Listen,
that is a bad throw.
Hey, any receiver.
Nobody's speaking.
Any receiver.
Mute him.
If he's open and the ball doesn't get to him, does that count as a catch?
It does not. But
shut down.
No, stop it. Stop it. You also have to think of it. You're being super biased right now.
Mr. Bias. Okay.
Yeah, you're being real biased. None of my takes with the Jets the last 2 weeks have been this biased.
You could say that. You could say that about every receiver in the NFL game, and they'll say you got shut down. Oh, but he was open on this play. Oh, he was open on this play. Oh, he was open on this play.
I'm not saying
but it wasn't.
I'm not saying he wasn't shut down the whole game. I'm
talking
about
enjoys a little bit
plays.
Too much curly for our eyes.
No, let me make my fucking point.
Let
me make my point. He did have 41 yards on what, 4 or 5 catches?
51
and 4 or 5 catches.
Yeah.
And he was targeted 8 times.
12.8 yards of reception.
That's not shut down. My thing is, there are plays where he wasn't shut down, where the ball just didn't get to him when it should have.
You could say that about every receiver in every game that played this week.
Okay, let's go ahead and look at that. Let's look at that Cincinnati Bengals game against Baltimore, where A.J. Green was targeted, all of 12 times. He caught the ball 7-8 times. There were balls where he was wide the fuck open, and the ball just sailed over his head. That's not good defense. It's a poor throw. That's all I'm saying. I'm not taking anything away from the Cowboys defense doing a great job.
He was shut down.
I'm not taking anything away from the Cowboys defense doing a great job of
putting
4 people on Odell Beckham.
They shut him down.
Okay, can I finish my fucking statement?
No.
Jesus Christ. This is exactly why people don't want to listen to fucking other people talking over each other. I'm not taking anything away from the Cowboys defense from taking Odell out of the game. But there were instances where Eli couldn't make the play, and that has nothing to do with defense. That's all I'm saying.
He was targeted.
You could say that about every game.
Every
receiver in every game. Oh, this quarterback couldn't hit the receiver.
He was targeted 9 times. He caught 4 balls, but his catch percentage was 44%. And that's catchable balls. You caught 44% of his passes.
Yeah. So, like I said,
how many of those catches were garbage time?
1 on that slant.
They don't show that on Pro Football Reference.
No, but if you want to go back to that game, if you want to go back to that game in the fourth quarter, the last 2 minutes, he only caught 1 ball.
I stopped watching
on
the
that
game.
slant,
I stopped watching
which was
the game
poor play calling.
Because that wasn't my takeaway. My takeaway wasn't Odell getting shut down. My takeaway was poor situational football from Pat Shurmur. That was poor situational football. You have a chance to really come in and the game is still winnable, or you could still go into overtime and you're running slants. You're running slants and you're trying to score quick. Throw the ball to the outside. Throw the ball to the.
Well, he didn't have time to throw the ball to the outside. They couldn't.
And when he did,
they got the onside kick. They got the onside kick, and then they started throwing slants. And you have 1 minute and 30 left.
So in that drive, they did throw the ball down the field to Odell. This is the play I was talking about, where he had the corner beat by 2 or 3 steps, and since he didn't have time,
I remember that play.
He literally would just chuck the ball up, chuck it, because he didn't have the time to make an accurate throw. That's all.
But that play to Odell, they could have kicked I think what was it, a 52-yarder. to just get the field goal out of the way and then kick an onside and then do that. But they decided to throw it up, waste more time. You weren't scoring a touchdown.
No, they weren't. But like that goes back to how good of a defense the Cowboys were playing. Even when Eli had a shot to go down the field, he was so scared of getting hit that he had to overthrow the ball.
Yeah, he looked afraid yesterday.
Those are all the points I was just trying to make. My takeaway was how the fuck did they not stop Tavon Austin?
He just has those games.
How the fuck did they not stop Tavon Austin?
He has those games
Hold
once a year.
on. Tavon only did one play.
Tavon, how many catches did Tavon have? Because it seemed like every fucking 5 minutes I was looking at him with the ball. He had at least 4 catches.
No, Deontay Thompson's making all those catches.
One catch, 15
Tavon
yards.
had one.
Okay. Then they're all small
Tavon had
black
the one
dudes who look the
bomb.
same.
Oh, wait a minute.
Tavon had the one bomb. That was it. He didn't really do anything after that.
Ooh, looks like you looked at the wrong stat line.
What stat line?
No, Hunter's looking at the stat line right now.
I'm trying to look at stat line per game real quick.
Yeah, because that seemed like you looked at a catch at a quarter. Because I remember him in the second
How about my
quarter.
boy Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yeah. He definitely had more yards.
He had a lot of great plays in that game on Texas, but Texas fucking gave the Trojans a fucking ass whooping.
I can't hear you.
I stopped watching that fucking game.
What game are you talking about?
He was talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown against Texas. In Trojans, Texas.
Oh, he had 2 receptions, 79 yards.
Tavon Austin?
Yeah.
He has one of these games every year.
Yeah, but it's like, holy shit. Like, when Tavon Austin's on the field, don't you, like, look at him as, like, a factor, like an X factor? Because he can have one of those games. It's not like the Cowboys have any other receivers.
The problem is the past 2 years, Tavon Austin's only been used on run plays.
Yeah, but it's like, you see Tavon out wide, you know the Cowboys don't have any other receivers, they're trying something. Why are we not looking at Tavon, who has game-breaking speed?
Is he a good wide receiver?
Is he better than
Not
anybody else they
really.
have? Is he better than anybody else they have?
They still need to run. They're still horrible at offense.
Yeah.
The play calling's still horrible.
Play
They
calling's
got
still
one good
awful, but they were able to capitalize on the Giants not being able to call offense all game.
Was yesterday's game like a statement game by Dak, or is that like is this probably going to be like one of his best games of the season?
I don't think it was a statement game. I think, to Dak it might have been a statement game because Jamie Collins was calling him out all year.
Oh, yeah, and guess what? Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Exactly. Do I think it was a statement game? No. Dak will have a better game this year against someone else.
They're still not using the offense correctly.
Not at all.
They didn't use Zeke in the passing game correctly.
They still like to throw him into the flat and just tell him to go.
Yeah.
Without giving him any
blocking. Run a different
blocking.
route with him. Quit running flat routes with Zeke. Let's run something else.
Right.
Guess what your wide receivers can't do? There's 2 things they can't do. Run routes and block. So why are we going to throw to the flat and make your wide receivers block?
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Now, do you have any takeaways from the Jets game?
That Miami defense took poor offensive line to town.
Your Jets. About your Jets.
No, that's my Jets. My offensive line's garbage.
Okay.
Robert Quinn and Cameron Wake had themselves a game.
I keep forgetting Robert Quinn's on the...
Yeah, Robert Quinn and Cameron Wake had themselves a game. Sam Darnold, out of the 2 interceptions he threw, one of them was actually his fault. I blame the second one completely on Terrell Pryor not being aware of where the fucking ball is while you're in the end zone. Because Sam Darnold put the ball in front of him so he can box out the corner and catch the ball.
Right.
And guess what he did? Not fucking that.
And they just got a turnover like the play before.
Which is great, which is crazy. So, like, my takeaway from Miami, not going to shit on the Miami Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill didn't play a great game. They were able to capitalize on field position from turnovers. The Robbie Anderson fumble, inexcusable. Shit like that can't happen. Like, if that fumble doesn't happen, it's a tie game.
Right.
It's literally a tie game because Darnold has the confidence to get the ball down the field. Once that Robbie Anderson fumble happened, he literally was just like, that shit's not even my fault. Literally not my fault, but Kiko Alonso came out of nowhere and just hit him.
Right.
Heads up for Thursday, not picking the Jets against the Browns. I think that's the game the Browns get their win.
They're bound to get their win.
They're going to get their win. Myles Garrett's going to tear this offensive line apart. Does Sam Darnold have a good game? Yeah, Sam Darnold will have a good game. Will he have an interception? Yup. Yes, he will. Will my defensive rookie of the year... How is that slurping? I'm talking shit. How is that?
Somebody was slurping a little on Dak the last game.
You're the one slurping your whole game yesterday. I'm over here talking shit about my quarterback, and I'm slurping
And
Yes.
shutting Odell down.
It did
How's
shut
that
down,
slurping?
though. You guys didn't make the. Hey, it's not my fault. You didn't make the slurp noise.
I was about to
But how am I? But I want to know how I'm slurping.
I was waiting to, but I was waiting for you to slurp harder, but we ended up cutting it short. We ended up cutting it short because we didn't want to hear you sucking more dick. All right, so
I'm over here saying that my quarterback's gonna lose the game and throw an interception. I'm sucking his
You
dick.
said my quarterback's still gonna play. He's still gonna play a great game. They're gonna lose.
Okay, he's gonna play a solid game. He's gonna throw for 225, a touchdown, and probably 2 interceptions.
okay.
For a rookie, that's a solid game. Darnold's going to have like 19 interceptions this year. Shocker. Not really. Everybody knows that. But at the end of the day, he's the youngest starting quarterback in the NFL. He'll learn. We'll get there.
Yeah, my takeaway from if we're going to be talking about like encouraging takeaways, my only encouraging takeaway was Sony Michel.
No,
I
he looked
loved how
great.
he ran.
He looked great.
He looked great. And he's coming from a knee injury. That's his first game back. He's going to be really good.
Quick heads up, he's always going to be coming from a knee injury.
I don't know. I hope not. But
That's the only question I
barring
have about Sony Michel.
Barring injury, I think he's going to be really good.
The only question I have about Sony Michel is, well, 2 questions. One, is Belichick going to run the ball consistently and trust him?
If you're drafting him in the first round, you're going to be using him a lot.
That's not true. But they drafted Baker Mayfield number 1 overall, and he's not going to be on the field.
That's the Browns.
Okay.
That's not Bill Belichick.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
They've also traded first
they
round
also have,
picks
like,
their past few years.
Sometimes it helps just to let him sit for a year. I mean, look at Mahomes so far.
Well, Mahomes was going to perform like this regardless because he came out that one the end of last year and killed it. So,
Yeah, but he sat down the whole year.
running backs are different.
backs, you just step
The other
up.
question I have about Michelle is his knees, or whatever.
We'll see what happens.
Because he
Todd
has,
Gurley had bad knees coming out of college too.
yeah, but doesn't Sony Michel like have like no cartilage in his knees or some shit like that?
No, because
No.
that's a BS injury because a lot of running backs have the same thing. They're saying it's bone on bone. Half of a fucking America has it.
Frank Gore didn't have any ACLs
yeah.
when he came out of college,
Todd Gurley tore
and
his
he's
ACL
only the
twice.
4th
Yeah.
leading rusher in the NFL.
fuck is
Shout out Frank Gore.
Another
what school did he
Georgia
go
running
to? The U.
Yeah, but Todd Gurley also came out of Georgia, and Todd Gurley, that's who they compared him to coming out of the draft. I don't think he has like his athleticism or anything, but he's a good back. He's
No,
not
he'll
gonna
be
Todd
solid.
Gurley,
I would
though.
like to see if they're actually going to run the ball more.
I think with him, they might. I think if you commit a first, I don't think he's ever drafted a running back in the first round before.
Hey, we'll
He
see.
did.
We'll see.
Maroney.
Oh, Maroney, yeah, Lawrence Maroney, yep.
Yeah, that worked out well, right?
Stat guy Steven from the Minnesota days.
That worked out great for you, right? Lawrence Maroney?
Yeah, Lawrence. Yeah,
Yeah, he worked out great for you guys?
yeah, all right.
Not really.
No, whatever. He was a bust.
So just because you draft someone in the first round
Yeah,
doesn't mean
I
you
mean,
have
just
to
because
use
you
them right
drafted,
away.
but I mean, you're gonna use him.
Is he going to get more carry? Is he going to see more playing time than James White?
No.
way in hell.
No, he's got to gain the trust. If he
Is
gets
he
the
gonna,
trust
is he going to
early
get
on-
more on field time than Rex
He'll
Burkhead?
get more.
Yeah, he'll get more.
Oh, yeah.
he'll get more than Rex.
Well, first of all, whoever thought Burkhead was a good running back?
Whoever thought he'd make it on this fucking team?
He couldn't. He
Or they
couldn't
gave him
get time up in the Bengals, and they had freaking the fumbler and Giovanni Bernard.
And the other fumbler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You know what I'm talking about, Jeremy Hill.
But even James White, his rookie year in the AFC Championship game, he dropped 2 wheel route passes that would have given him the lead in the AFC Championship game. Dropped them both. Came back next year in the Super Bowl and basically won it for him.
I'm waiting. I want to see how Belichick or Michelle reacts when he fumbles for the first time.
We'll see what happens.
Because I want to see how he's going to react to getting screamed at on the sidelines.
Well, Michelle was not a fumbling back.
No, but
so
he is
far.
bound to fumble. It's going to happen.
Yeah, rookie running backs usually fumble, but Belichick always takes them out when they do that.
I know. I want to see
They also
how...
do drills to help him out because Patriots backs normally don't fumble. They don't
What?
fumble a lot. They don't fumble a
What?
lot. In
What?
the past few years, they have the lowest. They have the lowest fumble percentage.
I remember watching a game in the Super Bowl where you had LeGarrette Blount fumble as
Oh,
well
LeGarrette
as
Blount's a
Deion Lewis
fucking-
fumble.
Yeah, that's one game. But I'm saying, like,
Hey,
if you look
did
at
you
the
forget?
past,
Did you forget the running back named Stephen Ridley?
I remember Stephen Ridley. That's why his ass got cut. But I mean, if you
He
look
fumbled
at
all the time.
if you look at the past 5 years, there's a stat that says that the Patriots have the lowest fumble percentage of any team in the league.
Yeah, because you know why? When they fumble once in the game, Belichick doesn't put them back.
Exactly. There you go. So they're not a fumbling team.
Yeah, because every time they do, they're out.
Yeah, there you
When
go.
Ridley
They do
was there,
fumbling
they were.
drills to
When
fucking
Ridley
help
was their
us.
starting running back, though, that was a rough.
Yeah, that was awful.
Ridley fumbled. How
James
many
White
years
doesn't
Ridley with
fumble
that
a lot.
team?
Ridley's
He
with the team
cost
like
them a
3
Super
years,
Bowl.
right?
He was with the team like 2011 to 2013.
Yeah.
When the Ravens
2 years.
won, when the Ravens ruined his career.
Then he went to the Jets. I remember he got that Jets tattoo. I was like, come on, man, what are you doing?
I was really excited to get him on the Jets. I was real excited to get him, and he didn't play. That was the year we had Zach Stacy, too. And then
Yeah,
Zach
right.
Stacy followed me on Twitter.
Didn't the Rams pick Todd Gurley? Then Zach Stacy was like, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, because they had Todd Gurley, Trey Mason, and Zach Stacy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach Stacy was like, hold up, get me the fuck out of here, to go to the Jets and not play and get cut.
Yeah, Stephen Ridley was in the league in 2011, so he's on the Patriots for 2 years. He had that 1,000-yard rushing season, but then he really he fumbled a lot in 2012, 2013. Too much.
All right, anything else you want to add to any of this?
No.
All right, this has been the State of the Shield, little emergency podcast. Wee woo, wee woo. We're Jump Shot Therapy. We are out of here. See you later, guys.
I'm gonna go to sleep.